Welcome to another edition of the Sunday morning, Sunday Fun Day, Gonzo Radio Sports Desk. Whew. Man, long week, huge, gigantic, long week. Lot going on. The first full week of preseason NFL action, which got to it in earnest. Seated across from me. By the way, hi, I'm Gonzo and Big Daddy Gonzo, your host, and I don't know, I'm sort of hungover, and across from me, sitting there, trying not to be angry, is the one and only the Maz. How you doing, Matthew? How is your morning so far?
It's anger filled.
Angry.
Yes, I've got some zest in my blood now.
I'm so discombobulated. I don't know if you can notice. You can't notice because your monitor isn't working either. We've been plagued with technical difficulties. But I didn't even turn on the light. We have shadows now. We're both very shadowy figures.
It's okay. That's how I feel.
Like
right now, I look how I feel. So.
We're that Star Trek episode.
Yeah. Hey, where are you going? Oh, we have lights.
Hey.
Now we're in high def. Now you're gonna see all my flaws.
You got a pimple.
Yeah.
You got a booger in your left nostril.
Yeah. Both probabthey true, as a matter of fact. Yeah.
Yeah, well, now we can illuminate the other side of our faces. We become that Star Trek episode where they on racism, and it's this race of people. One side of their face is white, and the other side of their face is black, and the people that they hate have the other side of their face is black, and the other side of their face is white.
Wow!
And it's like. It's like
a weird game of Othello. It's like, where are you supposed to go with that?
Right. Well, do you ever watch Rick and Morty, the cartoon Rick and Morty?
I'm aware of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, they had an episode where there was this race of people, and they had they had cone nipples, and they had bullseye nipples.
Okay.
And they started a race riot. And I'm not going to expedite everything else further. But
would you rather be
Rick
a
and
cone?
Morty, brilliant.
Would you rather be a cone or a bullseye?
Well.
I'm thinking I'm going to be a cone.
Well, when it's cold,
I'd rather be the
cone.
aggressor. I'd rather be the aggressor.
You'd rather be pointy?
I'd rather be the aggressor.
Sticking out in front of you?
Yeah. I'm not really waiting to stick around to get, hit in my bullseye.
Right. Well, one would think that bullseye nipples would be a reason to shoot. And since my left nipple is too close to my heart, that would be really bad.
Yeah, agree.
So welcome to Nipple Talk.
Can't move your nipples.
Yeah, we're kind of stalling and hussafunking around because that's right. I didn't drop an F-bomb. I threw an N in there.
Since it's on the TV, and there's kids on the TV.
Oh, there's kids on the TV?
Tyler Gilbert. How about that kid yesterday in Major League Baseball?
Before we get into the football, we have to get into this.
Yeah. I mean, first career start. He's had, I think, 4 other appearances in Major League Baseball. He's 27 years old. He's not like
He's had a little practice.
21-year-old call-up. He's probably obviously been in the minors for a while, but he's playing on a very bad team that is just looking to just fill spots right now and call some guys up.
Right, they're throwing crap at the wall right now.
And his crap stuck. He threw a no-hitter, first career start, one of 4 guys in the history of baseball.
Can't throw them in unless you throw them out there. So.
Yeah, we did the quick math before. Since they've been keeping stats, there's been over, I think, close to about 250,000 games.
Right.
Which means there's been 250,000 pitchers times 2. Because you got to have 2 guys on each starting pitcher on each side. So 500,000 pitchers have towed the rubber.
Right.
And 4 guys now
4
have a perfect game. No hitter on their opening. Now, the other 3 guys, back in 1891, Theodore Bernstein. Okay.
Ted, we remember you. Ted, nice Jewish boy.
Teddy was a butcher, And
Kosher Butcher,
on
probably.
the weekends, he pitched a little bit. Okay, next guy, my favorite, Bumpus Jones. You remember Bumpus Jones?
He still owes me money.
1892. So him and Bumpus Jones, and then a little later on, 1953, Bob Holloman.
Wait, before you get on Bob Bumpus, you still owe me $2.
Yeah, but you have a hard time finding Bumpus. Yeah, so 1953. So, baseball, obviously, king of the sports is stats. They've got stats for everything. This kid will probably have a spot in the Hall of Fame just for that one glorious
That's it.
no-hitter that he threw. He is on a
You're
short
on
list.
the list.
Short
Exactly.
list. Yeah, when you're on a short list in baseball, you go right to the Hall. So,
Well, listen, we deal with being in the club industry and being with all the various circles that we run in. We deal with some people that just don't get sports. They just don't get it. They're like, I don't know, because we've seen a lot of no-hitters this year, an extraordinary year. There's, 8 of them so far?
I think we're up to 8 now.
And we still got a couple more months to go before the
Matt
end of the
Moore
year.
almost had one yesterday. He got to the 8th, I think,
Right.
with the Phillies.
Right? So, they're still threatening. 'Cause
And speaking of Matt Moore, again, just to slightly digress, his ERA coming into the game yesterday was over 7. And it just goes to show you that
that's my ERA, too.
Basically, every squirrel finds a nut eventually,
Right.
in life. So, Matt Moore's been around a while. He was a Tampa phenom for a while. Then he went through Tommy John, had a bunch of
Right.
injuries.
Oh,
But, a guy coming into the game yesterday with over 7. Phillies acquire him in a trade.
Right.
And the dude goes
He's
out.
probably just like a throw-in.
The dude goes out, and again, he can pitch. It's just that he's had some issues, and I'm not into why he's been
an
struggling
inning
this year
eater right now.
But yesterday he ate 7 2/3 of no-hit balls. So,
Right.
so good for him. But
Well,
yeah,
your Phillies are on a tear. I'm hoping for you.
yeah, they're playing pretty well.
Me and Mr. Cohn, Mr. Roscoe Hen, along with Ron Fox and and Addison. We're going to go attend the Miami Marlins Chicago Cubs baseball extravaganza this afternoon.
Nice. I'll see if I see you guys on TV.
2 glorified AAA teams
Right now.
2 teams who are heading in opposite directions, though. I'll say that because the Marlins have made some decent moves and they got money now.
Marlins are building, for sure. Cubs are going the other way. They've sold
Cubs
everything.
have blown it up,
yeah.
and that's the one thing that I always said through all the Jeffrey Loria years, where the Marlins would build it up, win a World Series, and blow it up. Build it up, blow it up. The Cubs, there's a reason why they went 108 years or something, or 90 years between
No, it was over
World
100 years,
Series.
yeah.
There's a reason why.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's because the ownership of the Chicago Cubs, DGAF. Okay, they just don't care. They'll go another 90 years before they sniff another World Series because they're in Chicago.
Yeah,
They are the Cubs.
they're blessed and gifted, I guess, with being in one of the greatest sports cities in America.
And they're going to get their money,
Yeah.
and the bottom line is the bottom line.
Yeah, and the thing is too is we see this all the time in life. It's like if something's negative in your life, it gets a lot of attention.
Right.
So the Cubs being bad gets probably just as much attention
Lovable losers.
in terms of just overall viewership and people calling the radio shows and having an opinion about certain things as if they were winning games. It's just obviously the fans would rather them win, but it's a market that drives itself
Right.
regardless of the product. The Bulls have been terrible.
I think it's corporate criminalism.
Yeah.
It
The
really
Bears
is.
have been terrible for a while. They've been struggling too, so it's really a shame. Now, the White Sox on the other side of Chicago are the best team in baseball. That game, Field of Dreams,
Right.
man, that was one of the best things that I've seen
By the
baseball
way,
related.
privately owned, one owner, one mind, one mindset through all the way through the front office, especially over the last 7 or 8 years. I think it is.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. But back to the Field of Dreams thing. If you haven't seen it, I highly
oh my God, I got verklempt.
recommend watching that. Again, even if you're not a baseball guy or girl and that's not your sport, that's just a movie about life. It just happens to be about baseball too. So, just Kevin Costner is really an amazing person, I think.
He is a goddamn national treasure.
Yeah. So, just an amazing. I think MLB Network did a lot of the pregame stuff or pre-show stuff was amazing. All the interviews they did. I also watched a post interview with Costas and Kevin Costner.
Yeah,
I don't know if you saw that. That was really good too. So, highly recommend that. Get a box of tissues and enjoy that.
I couldn't. I watched part of it at work with the sound off, and I got a little verklempt.
Yeah.
And then I came home. By the way, 3 o'clock in the morning is not really the right time to start crying over a sentimental baseball movie, but awesome.
Fantastic,
Awesome.
yeah.
I will say this. That is, along with the 8 no-hitters, that is one of the highlights of this Major League Baseball season.
Yeah, and in several years, I think. Certainly into last year in COVID and going back
well,
for a
yeah,
while.
well,
The
COVID was just a struggle.
I believe I saw something that said that had the highest viewership of any Major League Baseball game regular season since like 2005, perhaps.
You mean baseball fans are smart?
Yeah, so-
Sports fans are smart, and regular people are smart, and you're watching actual quality entertainment.
And they got it for the game too. I mean, walk off by Tim Anderson, 8-7. Yankees put up.
It was like it was scripted.
Oh, it was really something. Yeah.
But back to the no-hitter thing, like I was saying, it was because now we've gone on a 10-minute tangent off the point that I was trying to make, is that we run into a lot of people who just don't get sports, and they especially don't get baseball.
Right.
Okay. And they have lit on 2 different occasions. I've had people, when they're one of these no-hitters, is go, what's the big deal about a no-hitter? Oh, the other team sucked? The other team had a bad day? No. A no-hitter is very difficult.
Yeah.
You know, and you explain to them that, there's no-nos and perfect games and all of that. There's difference between a no-hitter and a perfect game. Well, what do you mean there's a difference between a perfect game and a no-hitter? Well, a no-hitter, a no-no, a perfect game. Okay, a perfect game is zeros across the board. No runs, no errors, no walks, no nothing. Zeros.
27 up, 27
Nothing.
down.
27 up, 27 down.
Right.
Okay, a no-hitter can come with walks. It can come with passed balls, wild pitches.
Catcher interference. Hit by pitch.
It just
fielder's
all
choice.
all manner of things.
There's a few
to
more.
screw it up.
Yeah.
You can actually throw a no-hitter and give up runs.
Yeah, potentially.
It's happened.
Yeah, potentially.
Okay, but that no-no, that perfect game, those are the rarest of the rare.
It's your day in the sun as a pitcher.
Yeah.
Because a lot of things have to go right. And there have been many types of no-hitters. And I mean by that is just how the games have gone. You've had guys go out and dominate and strike out 12. You've had guys go out and just have them, the guys behind them are just playing amazing defense.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of no-hitters that have been saved.
Saved.
Whether you can go back in the third inning and watch
It
a
is a
guy
team effort.
grab a home run off the wall,
Right.
or, the last out in the game, the guy's diving in a hole and gets up and makes a play.
It is a team effort.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways it goes down. And
The
certainly-
pitcher's not going to run out to the outfield and catch the fly ball.
Yeah, so it's definitely, unless you're Bugs Bunny, and those are great. Yeah, those. Well,
1, 2, 3, you're out. 1, 2, 3, you're out.
The best ever. Yeah. So, so I mean, it's just an amazing feat, and it's just the joy of baseball. And granted, not talking out of both sides of my mouth, I talk about baseball and how they overstat you to death. I mean, you'll be watching some sort of nationalized telecast, and it'll be just too mediocre. It'll be like Seattle and Texas or whatever, and then Seattle will come back and score 4 runs in the 8th.
And the announcers are speaking
They'll be like,
Greek.
and all of a sudden you'll be like, oh my! Our statisticians have found that Seattle hasn't come back. Down 3 runs in the bottom of the 8th
In April, at
Yeah,
night.
when it's 84 degrees or more, and whatever, and they go on. But it is also important to keep track of all of the different accomplishments that baseball has.
There's a lot.
In terms of the stats. So, and I'm a stat guy, so anything numbers related, I'm going to be geeked
You
out
said
over.
500,000 pitchers.
Yeah.
500,000
Yeah.
people,
And
men.
it's him and Bumpus
have-
and these 2 other guys.
I want my money, Bumpus.
Yeah, so pretty amazing.
I don't care if your grandchildren are dead.
Now,
I want my money.
would
With
you be
interest.
shocked if this guy goes out next game? Now, great, he did this against the Padres. Okay, one of
yeah.
the best teams in baseball.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see, he goes out against the Pirates next game and gets shelled.
Gets
Gives up
shelled.
6 runs.
Of course.
2 and a third.
Of course.
Yeah.
Enjoy your moment in the sun.
So yeah,
kid.
this
That's
is
simple as
the
that.
beauty of baseball.
All right, enough baseball.
There's never enough baseball, but we'll move on. We'll move on.
We'll move on from baseball.
Yeah, we'll move on.
How about that NBA summer league? No, I don't.
What?
Think so. No. Yeah, they're having a good time out there. I'll give them that.
Well, I mean, Westbrook is in L.A. I mean, just give me a yes or no. Does L.A. win the championship this year?
The Over the Hill Gang. I love the Over the Hill Gang. I really do.
Yes or
I
no?
love it.
Yes or
I
no?
love it. Sure. You want to know why? You want to know why? Because they have a little spark plug that used to play for the Miami Heat by the name of Kendrick Nunn, who will obviously be coming off the bench, which is a place where he's used to it. So if any of these old dudes, let's face it, they're old, whether it be because Kendrick Nunn has played the swing position between guard and forward before.
He's
just
small forward.
shooter.
Yeah.
He's a shooter.
All right, well-
okay, he can plug those holes. So if you have LeBron goes down, you got a small forward. If let's see who I guess Melo would be the guard.
Wow, what a struggle.
Yeah, I
Here's
mean,
my reality for the
shooting,
Lakers.
You know, the 2 and the 3.
Westbrook-
You got a guy a 2-3 fill in.
The Westbrook acquisition for any team throughout his career hasn't
been
resulted
horrendous.
in it. No, horrendous. I mean, wait, listen. Westbrook is a dynamic player. Nobody debates that. Nobody
Right.
debates the guy can go out and put up triple doubles.
Right.
But again, we've argued that to death. It doesn't represent winning. The Lakers last year had, I think, the second best team defense and I think the best bench defense. That's a big deal when the Lakers rest their hat on their defense.
Right.
They lost Harrell. They lost Caruso.
Yep.
Okay, those are two of their best defensive players on the bench.
Yep.
They don't and they're not getting any better
Kendrick Nunn
defensively.
is just average at best.
And Westbrook doesn't play defense. So you got James, who's getting older again. You saw his vulnerability last year especially. It's not going to get better. Davis, okay, we know what he is at this point. When he gives you 2/3 of the season and maybe 2/3 of the playoff, granted, he's one of the better players out
the
there.
ultimate millennial athlete.
Yeah, but it's just I just think that they got a lot in Westbrook, and you'll see next year, man, that kid's going to put up some crazy numbers, and he's going to run the offense at times. Why? Because you're going to have James miss games, you're going to have Davis miss games, and you're going to see Westbrook go out in certain nights and at that place and put up 40, 14, and 12, and people are going to go, oh, Westbrook.
And lose.
When they get to the playoffs and they're playing the same team every night, and you can get exploited because you got other guys that can play just as good as you every night, and can play defense, and can hit free throws, and can do and. For me, it's a definite no. Give me the field at any percentage against the Lakers this year. So, now, granted, the Lakers could win a bunch of games. If everything goes right and they're healthy, yeah, Lakers can win 57, 58 games and be even 1-2 in the West. I doubt it, but it
No
could happen.
championship.
No chance. No, give me the field.
All right, let's mark it down, everybody.
The
Here,
field.
it's the 15th. It's August 15th.
Yeah.
And Matt is going on record as saying, "Forget about it.
Give me the field.
The last ride of the Over the Hill gang
No.
ain't gonna work.
He's got one more Disney movie to make anyway, I think, doesn't he, LeBron?
That would be the Over the Hill gang.
Yeah, that'll
For the
suck like
Apple
this one did.
Dumpling gang or something like that.
Yeah, so.
Okay, so the last ride of the Over the Hill gang, Matt
yeah.
is saying,
You're out.
NF dub, no. Okay, now on to the NFL, the National Football League, the Shield,
We're getting
the
close.
brand.
We're getting close.
The true national pastime, the gladiatorial, strategic struggle, simulated war. It really is. It's 11 men imposing their will on 11 other men.
Yes.
Okay.
At a time.
At a time.
And they're being rotated out with other 6 or 7 other men.
with skill, ferocity, and
Yeah.
brute force.
And then the angry men come on the field and play
Yeah.
defense.
Yes.
Yeah, and then they switch
we
again.
We're about the angry guys.
Yeah.
Well, let's. I'm start off with my Dolphins. I'm going to start off with my Dolphins, even though your Steelers have had 2 chances to show what they got now, right? Or you guys are on today, right? You guys are on
No,
today?
we won yesterday. I think
You won
last
yesterday?
night, yeah.
Oh, okay. You were paying attention?
I don't think we've lost yet in the preseason.
I don't know.
Not that it matters.
It doesn't matter, yeah, because the Miami Dolphins took on. I mean, the big thing about this season has been the rookie quarterback class. Everybody talking about the rookie quarterback this, rookie quarterback that. Okay, well, first of all, one of those rookie quarterbacks who was drafted in the second round, Kyle Trask, you're going to get a chance to see him with the Buccaneers. I think he'll do well. Mm-hmm. Okay, but a different University of Florida quarterback, Emmanuel Franks, the guy that came before Trask.
Yeah, he doesn't have 2 first names.
Big dude.
Yeah.
Huge. He played a lot for Atlanta yesterday. Broke off a 60-yard run? He looked like a rampaging rhinoceros running down the field.
Yeah, you know,
That's
somebody
an
that
interesting cat.
Somebody that big can run like that.
That's an interesting cat. Well, he was interesting at Florida. He ran the ball a lot.
Yeah.
He wore number 15 for a reason because they continued the Tebow tradition.
Yeah.
But
he was like the Taysom Hill.
he was a rampaging water buffalo yesterday.
bigger.
It was great. It was great to see.
Yeah.
But all of the all the shiny quarterbacks were on display yesterday. From Justin Fields versus the Miami Dolphins with the Chicago Bears, which, by the way, Dalton, you're going to be lucky if you can start 2 or 3 games. If you come out and throw picks in the first 2 games, multiple, but I'm going to tell you right now, he's on a 3 interception limit. If homeboy throws 3 interceptions in a game, he's done because the Fields kid. he was playing against Miami's 2s and 3s. And right now a lot of our 2s, because Coach Flores likes to play head games with our guys, and he's got guys that were 1s last year or on the second team right now. It's like, you got to fight for your starting job, which I love. But he was playing against a lot of 2s and 3s.
Yeah.
And he excelled. He showed off the 4.4 speed.
Yeah.
He showed off the rocket arm. He showed off everything that 34-year-old Andy Dalton is not.
No, he just, at that point, now again, I mean, there's your ups and downs with Andy Dalton. I think he's had a good career. I think he was stuck in Cincinnati for a while, but remember, he was good. He had led that team to 3 or 4 straight years in the playoffs.
Sure.
But anyway, enough about Andy Dalton. You're right. We can't spend enough time on Andy Dalton. I'm not so forgetting about the quarterbacks that we called rookies last year, because there's a couple of guys that I really want to see this year. Justin Herbert, I want to see what he does this year.
Dwayne Haskins, who's sitting on the bench with your Steelers.
Yeah.
That's your quarterback of the future. He is.
You guys are sold on Dwayne
Embrace
Haskins.
it.
All right. Well,
embrace it.
He is, because he is the backup quarterback now, but and probably will play some games and start even, because we know what Ben's history looks like.
God.
Ben's good for 12. Wait, there's an extra game this year? Yeah, he's still good for 12.
Still good for 12.
Still good for 12. There are some other rookie guys who interest me. I went into Trey Lance a little bit, because obviously the big, strong, fast, throws the ball a mile, all this other stuff. He only had 17 games at North Dakota State. Okay, that's his career. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
Now granted, they're the best team in what they do, North Dakota State, but only one game of those 17 games he threw the ball 25 times or more. So you got you got a very raw,
Right.
very inexperienced kid. Okay, that they had enough confidence in to take. Clearly, because they like what they see, not just obviously on the field, but in other situations. He's been there a while. Obviously now it's going to be interesting to see what kind of adjustment, what they do for him to get him involved, to integrate him. I think you're going to see this year especially a lot of the teams, not so much the Wildcat, because that was the new and the Sperano type inventive.
Now it's the RPO.
RPO, and I even think
option.
they're going to take a step further. I think they're going to actually have guys in similar to what Taysom Hill was the last several years for New Orleans.
Right.
Where he may be on the field at the same time with the quarterback.
Which we'll get to that in a minute. The actual battles.
Yeah.
But
So I do think you're going to see a transition. Again, you have to have the player that can do this. You don't just go get a guy and create the role. You have to have the player first. And I think you're going to see that with those sorts of players. Because again, the experience, get them out there, obviously see what they can do in certain situations is going to be invaluable for these guys. So one more thing for Young, and we would be remiss if we don't talk about Jordan Love. But when you say
he did well.
He did.
Speaking of a guy who was a rookie last year.
But up until that, when I heard Jordan Love, I immediately thought Bigfoot. Because it's like,
does he exist?
It's like,
does he not exist?
Yeah, it's like, I think I see him. Is that guy over there in the woods, that shadowy looking creature? So he came. Granted, he did play well. Okay, preseason wise, second, third stringers, all the good stuff, whatever. So it's here. We're excited. We have a lot to digest over the next couple of weeks before we get into our drafts. I'm not going to mention my situation yet because I haven't digested it myself.
Why?
But in terms of where I'm going to be and not here for the draft, I just don't. I'm not ready to come up with that yet.
You not being here for the draft.
I'm in a flux right now, beyond. So, but I will have it corrected. I will give it my best effort. We will still be victorious. I'm not going to use it as an excuse. Put it that way. So
listen, Mr. Vacation a lot. All right, you're taking 9 vacations a year, and some of them are going to run afoul of your other hobbies and interests.
Yeah, well, some of them are not vacations. I have responsibilities too. I have a daughter that travels volleyball and all that stuff. So, not making excuses. I'm still going to dominate my league, and I'm still going to give you guys great advice to help you dominate yours.
And we'll get to that advice in a minute.
Yeah.
Moving on to the other quarterbacks that made their debuts yesterday. Besides, by the way, Jordan Love, who had a fantastic debut,
Bigfoot.
He tweaked his right shoulder a little bit, but he says he'll be back for next week.
He's not used to
He's
throwing.
getting his PT in, man. He's just getting his PT in.
He's not used to playing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But getting back to Trey Lance, another young quarterback who happened to play for Texas Tech, who another team moved up in the draft to get him at number 10, Mr. Patrick Mahomes. I believe he only had 28 or 29 starts before he came to the NFL. So he was also a guy who had a limited body of work.
Yeah, but
he showed the athleticism, he showed the accuracy, he showed that little something,
North Dakota State is like the Alabama of their region.
What, and Texas Tech is anything great?
No,
though?
but what I'm saying is that the reason why he only threw the ball that few times is because they dominated everybody they played.
And he ran the ball a lot. So he had a lot of carries.
But what that tells me is that the talent, when you look across the field, who they were playing was inferior.
Right.
Because you didn't need to maximize game plans and skill. I'm sure there were games where in the second half you weren't throwing the ball at all.
You're playing the Nevada Vandals.
It's tough to make a true assessment on a guy like
playing
that.
the Wichita State Shockers.
You're playing whoever, but it's probably certainly not at the level at which he's going to be facing now. So it's going to be quite a challenge, I think. But again, he could be a very good NFL quarterback. And I think he will be.
He will be.
But it's
He
a
will be.
process.
He's got to sit on the bench, son.
Yeah, it's going to be a process.
Just go grab a seat.
Yeah, it's going to be a process.
But Jimmy G's another one, kind of like your boy Big Ben. There may be a situation where he's going to get hurt.
Well, here's the beauty for the Niners. Again, keeping Jimmy G is they got a guy.
They got a guy.
They don't have to worry about rushing him along to get him to start. They can do it the way other teams have done it successfully.
Well, they are going to find a way to get Trey in. It's just as simple as that. They're going to find a way to get him in.
It just depends on how the team is doing. Remember, this is still Jimmy's team.
No, they're blocking. They're putting plays in the playbook for him.
No question. But
He's going to be the RPO guy for sure.
If the Niners are 11-2 with Jimmy G, they're not in any rush to change that.
That's still not going to stop the kid from getting in half a dozen times.
100%, I agree with that, because that hopefully will be part of the reason.
Short yardage quarterback with the RPO.
Well, that would be part of the reason why they're 11-2, perhaps. But they're in a good spot. The Niners are fortunate to have kept Jimmy.
That kid is huge. He's huge. He's 6'4", 225, 230 pounds. Loves to tote the rock. Loves it.
Yeah.
Got the moves. Got the power, got the speed.
They'll find spots for him to be successful.
Exactly. Okay, so moving on to others. The big debut of the number 1 overall draft choice. Okay. Wait, what were we calling him before from Friday Night Lights? He was, what was it? He was, who's the kid from Friday Night Lights that we were calling him?
I'm drawing a blank.
My God, you're killing me.
Sorry.
Oh, what kind of a color commentary guy?
I was on the other side of this. I don't know where you were going with Friday Night Lights. I already got my own take, but go ahead. No.
But I'll say this. Kid's legit.
Okay.
He's got the juice.
Okay.
He really does. I think that Trevor Lawrence is going to be he's going to be a legit starting quarterback, if not an excellent starting quarterback in this league.
All right.
I really do.
I agree with that.
He showed us a lot yesterday.
Here is my issue with what's going on there with Tebow. Okay.
With Tebow,
yes.
where did we get Tebow?
We're talking about.
We're talking about Trevor Lawrence.
I know. We're talking about the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Right.
Okay. Where's Tim Tebow?
Oh my God. Okay, so you just immediately go to Tebow.
Well, no. What I'm saying is this: is that
Let the hate begin.
if you look at Jacksonville's schedule. Now, what I'm talking about now is don't replace Trevor. I'm saying what could possibly happen to this kid is the pressure, because when you look at their schedule, they have a stretch in the middle where they're not going to win a game. They have, I think, the second or third hardest schedule in football this year. Jacksonville does.
Okay, sure.
And at that point, what are you going to be hearing? Get Tim in there, because if Trevor Lawrence doesn't look good, if he does struggle, you know the pressure that comes of being the first pick overall.
Well, no, that's the reason why
And
you're
you're already
keeping Gardner Minshew. That's why.
Listen, you're already hearing, and you've heard it in different stages leading up to when they signed Tim Tebow, is what they were trying to do for Tim Tebow. Originally, they took him as a tight end. Okay, that was scrapped. Then they moved on, and they're like, well, no, we're going to just create some plays for Tim. Okay, we're going to put him in there, wildcat, and do it. Okay, now that was scrapped.
Run, pass,
All right.
option, RPO, in the pistol formation with a running back standing next to him.
All right.
It's welcome to the 21st century NFL.
Just because you have a
Taysom
system-
Hill isn't the only one that can do all of that.
Do not put Taysom Hill in the same conversation with Tim effing Tebow. Okay, Tim Tebow wasn't fast 10 years ago.
Same animal.
Tim Tebow wasn't athletic and fast 10 years ago in the NFL, okay? Taysom Hill can run a 4.35. Tim Tebow probably runs a 5 now. Okay,
5.
I mean, please, it's these
A
Tim
5
Tebow.
minute
Are
40.
you kidding me? It's
Wow.
Anyway. I like Trevor Lawrence, but I'm just
smell the
saying
hate. Oh.
that it's just listen. I'm bitter about Tim Tebow beating the Steelers still, but that's not what I'm talking about now. It's all these players. They are, especially Trevor Lawrence. What is he? 22 years old. Okay,
Stop beating on the table. You're shaking the cameras.
it's my body.
You're so mad. It's all angry.
I just think that it's so hard enough to be that guy. And now you're taking number 1 overall, and the eyes of the NFL world are upon you, and you are constantly being now compared to every other first pick in the NFL.
Sunshine.
The
It was
road
sunshine.
has
The quarterback
to be,
was sunshine.
It is your team's responsibility. It is your team's responsibility, from the coaches to the ownership, to make your road as smooth as possible. Smooth as possible. Do you really think that Tim Tebow's going to win Jacksonville games this year? I mean, honestly.
No.
Okay. So then what the is he doing there? Really? Are they just trying to sell tickets?
Obviously pissing you off.
Are they trying to sell tickets? I mean, is this the effort here to put Jacksonville on the map? Well, guess
Sure.
what? That ain't going to happen either. Okay? It's not going to happen. It's Jacksonville.
Sure, they drew a couple of hundred people to that game yesterday.
All right, next.
Wow.
Next.
Wow. You know, all this salt's bad for my blood pressure. You know that, right? It's a little high in sodium.
Tim Tebow.
Now, I want credit for not immediately slavishly going right to the post-mortem for the Miami Dolphins. I talked about Justin Fields because I want y'all to keep sleeping on Tua Tagovailoa. I want keep sleeping.
I'm asleep.
Keep sleeping.
No, I'm not asleep, but I am like I'm dozing off. How about that? Put it that
keep
way.
nodding off, keep sleeping.
Because what happens is it's like I'm watching them play, and I start, it's like start nodding, and then he threw the ball, and it's like
Keep sleeping because I'll tell you what.
Threw the ball.
By the time the middle of the season comes around, I'm going to be sitting on this side, and I'm going to be sporting a number 1 Miami Dolphins jersey, and I'm going to keep telling you to keep sleeping.
it'll be a collectible.
Okay. Huh?
It'll be a collectible. Well, because if they only make it for 1 year, and then you'll have one of those. There won't be a lot of them out there. That's what I'm saying. So it might be worth something.
For somebody who's sleeping, you're making a lot of noise.
Listen, I like Tua. I really, really like the
Looked
Dolphins.
really good yesterday.
Okay.
First of all, that offensive line is atrocious. I'm a little surprised. I thought that they had done a lot of things to address it. Now, granted, they lost DJ Fluker, who I thought was a capable and competent right tackle. Okay, that's injury.
What's going on with Xavier?
Eichenberg is Liam Eichenberg is injured. He was a quality piece.
Let's talk about the defense. What's
defense?
going on with Xavier?
With what?
With your corner. What's going on with the corner? Are they signing him?
Yes, Xavier Howard has been appeased.
Okay, so you're keeping
Okay.
him because you have to.
Yes,
the Dolphins have to
they're
keep
keeping him.
Okay.
I thought he was long gone.
All right, well, the Dolphins have to keep him in order
They
to
did.
be viable this year in that conference
did.
against those quarterbacks. Yeah.
They did.
Okay, well, they had to. They had no choice.
Right.
The Dolphins need to be very, very good on defense this year because
And
that's
they
going
will
to
be.
help. And I agree with that. Listen, I like the Dolphins, and I like them this year. I think they have a chance to win the division, only because I think the Bills take a small step back.
You know, you just heard collectively the 2 Bills fans that actually watch this show go.
Well,
They spit their coffee out,
I have my own
Or
take on their
it's
quarterback.
after 11 o'clock. They spit their beer out.
Yeah. So listen, the Dolphins are in the right direction. We've said that. I do think the Dolphins are going to play really well this year. I've said that, but it's not Tua driving that train yet. Yet. Now he may be at some point, but we've thrown all these numbers out there, and the guys that do this for a living, that analyze this data to death, have him at the bottom of the pack.
And they can be wrong.
And they can be, but they're not going to be terribly wrong. And we talked about that too. You don't all of a sudden become, or let's use money for an example. You have $0 in your bank account. For you to get to $1 million tomorrow, you better step in it. I mean, you literally better step in it. That's what he has to do. And it's difficult for NFL quarterbacks to step in it like
not
that.
with a horrible offensive line.
That too, again, because there are so many other factors. Because it's not just going to be on Tua. It's the offensive line that's obviously could be a real problem this year. So you're asking a guy who nobody thinks is going to be great anyway to be great when the circumstances are against him.
Right.
That's very impossible. There's no other way to put that.
Right.
So, best case scenario for the Dolphins is to make what they are better, which is their defense, which is signing Howard,
Right.
and protecting Tua any way they possibly can. Because they have to, if he's your guy, you have to look even past this year. Now, I know that's hard to do year after year because that's what you're doing. Because then you're like,
But no, you're getting no argument from me. Go on.
it's like, when do you stop looking to next year? Okay, you want that train to be slow. You don't want. There's no more 5-year plans in the NFL. Okay,
No.
quarterbacks come out ready, and we've talked about this partly because after that 4th year, you got to pay your guy.
Russell Wilson.
And that strips your team of the ability to be competitive on a financial level when you're paying your top guy all that money. So, with that being said, it's 2 years and assess and change and move and pivot off of whatever your plan was.
Right.
Because if it ain't working, you don't get a 3rd year at
Right.
that plan. That's not how this is in today's NFL.
Oh, yeah.
This is it for Tua. And it's unfortunate that, at least on the offensive line, which was very important for the Dolphins, I think, to address.
really bad yesterday.
Yeah, listen, that offensive line is going to be the key for Tua to not stay at the bottom of that assessment.
Yeah.
Okay. Now they can still win with him being a couple of spots higher. He don't have to be in the top 3 for the Dolphins to win that division, to really make him push in the playoffs, because they won't do it with him alone anyway. It'll be the defense and maybe running the football and other things. But they have to keep him healthy and safe and
Right.
allow him to develop and grow.
Right. Well, and listen, I see the parallels between Russell Wilson and Tua Tagovailoa. I see the parallels. Okay. Besides the fact that they're both built about the same, they both have similar games. Although Wilson's a little more mobile, a little more run oriented. He'll take off and run more often. But the same thing happened with Wilson when he came to Seattle, when he was drafted by Seattle. Except he had to win the job over 2 veteran quarterbacks, which he did. Crushed it in camp. He clearly was the better quarterback.
But I think for the first year or two, he had even less offensive talent than the Dolphins have right now.
But his offensive line was atrocious.
Yeah, terrible.
Okay, he was running for his life for his first, and which made for some spectacular plays. I mean, he wowed on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
And by year 2, people were clamoring for him in the 7th and 8th round of fantasy drafts because he was
4th round pick coming out of college.
right.
Steelers
right?
passed on him. And
exactly.
I still don't.
We all
understand
passed
it.
on him.
My God.
Passed on him 3 times. It was stupid. Okay, but I'm seeing this. I'm seeing a similar thing because Seattle also had a dominant defense then.
Well, that was
And-
Pete Carroll's thing, was
Right.
defense.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's
The Boom Brothers and all the other bullshit
right.
they had. Yeah.
And that's a legion of boom.
Yeah, the Boom.
But that is also
Brothers.
that is also the Brian Flores model of defense.
Somebody go help Richard Sherman right now.
Right?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God!
What's going on with him? Wow.
Somebody had a little too much and went.
Yeah.
Hey, we've all been there.
Yeah. Something put in his Campbell soup.
You get ex-girlfriends. But what you're seeing is the same parallel, and I hope the same parallel plays out, because by year 3, where was Russell Wilson? Hoisting a Lombardi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
so I hope the same parallel plays out.
should have had 2.
Okay. Right. But my point,
I know.
Okay, is that if this is the same parallel, if this is a similar course, I'm happy with it. I'm not happy with the lack of progress with the offensive line because they have devoted so much draft capital to the offensive line, not just in the last 2 years, in the last 3 years, the last 4 years. Okay? I mean, draft capital with a capital. I mean, Austin Jackson, give me a break, bro. Give me a break.
Maybe it's the Heat.
Okay, there are 10 tackles that were drafted behind you that are higher rated in play, that are starting, that are playing well. Okay, how are you the 18th overall pick in the first round and 10 tackles drafted behind you?
There's something going to happen there.
Okay, he is becoming more and more. Last year's draft is becoming more and more of a miss every lackluster game that Noah Igbenogany, which I finally learned how to say his entire name right, okay, Iggy, and Austin Jackson, every bad game that they have, every lackluster performance, okay, every touchdown pass that Igbenogany gives up, every sack that Austin Jackson gives up, every behind the line tackle for a loss. He gave up 2 yesterday. Okay, he got smoked once by Khalil Mack and once by a different guy. All right, every one of those diminishes the value of that draft, and the only valuable pick in that draft would be Tua Tagovailoa. Okay, I mean Robert Hunt, he's okay. Okay, Solomon Kindly having a bad camp. He was okay last year. Okay, but last year's draft, those draftees, they're not showing out this year. The only one that's showing out is Tua. So it's kind of critical. It's looking bad on your GM.
Yeah.
It's looking real bad on
right
your GM.
now. It is,
Okay, and if Greer can't pick after all the brilliant moves that have been made in the last 2 seasons. Okay, you go ahead and you get all of this draft capital, trading all of these disgruntled guys away. I don't want to be part of a rebuild. I'm going to demand a king's ransom of trade. 3 draft picks last year,
Yeah.
2 this. I mean, come on. You got to hit.
That was the reason for getting all those
I've been
picks.
Chris Greer's biggest fan. Okay,
Don't become a Brian Gutekunst.
Right.
Don't become Brian.
right.
Gutekunst. Don't become a Brian.
I'm telling you, that is a curse word in Danish. I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
Danish.
But you have to hit, man.
Yeah, 100%.
You have to hit. You can't just get lucky with Raekwon Davis, your second pick in the second round. You can't get lucky. You got lucky. The man, he's a man child. Now he's a monster. Okay, and he's developed into a monster. Right now, last year, you were depending on both your Alabama picks. Both Alabama picks to carry your team on one side of the ball and one on the other. And in between all that, you got an Auburn guy that can't cover, who's supposed to be the best man coverage guy that Devontae Smith has ever seen. Okay? Austin Jackson, who's the physical freak athlete who can jump out of a swimming pool onto his feet outside of the pool.
Too bad they don't play football at the
Yeah,
beach.
exactly.
If they did,
Right?
he'd be awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
Robert Hunt, who's supposed to be a road grader, he's a mediocre guard. You can't have a mediocre guard with the 3rd pick in the 2nd round. That's not a mediocre guard range. Okay? So these kids need to show up. Otherwise, Chris Greer, the shine's going to start to come off of Chris Greer.
Yeah, people will look at that and go, with that
Okay.
many opportunities, you need to hit.
And you're going to, and what we'll see is if those picks, along with the picks that he has this year, if all of these picks do not start to show us something. Right now, I mean, he's hanging his hat on Jalen Waddle, another Alabama pick. Can't go wrong with a Bama guy. He's hanging his hat on Jalen Phillips, okay, a Miami guy who, when not hurt, when healthy, can be a disruptive force, okay? But if these kids don't start showing out, you're going to see a new director of college scouting next year. Just one of the bylines in March or April. Miami's parted ways with whoever from the scouting department, and they went and got a new scouting guy. Why? Because that scouting guy is giving Chris Greer, who's supposed to know his crap, okay, giving Chris Greer bad info and giving us info on mediocre players that are not translating to the NFL.
He's overselling some of that
all
talent.
this draft capital, okay, in all of these drafts.
Yeah.
5 first-rounders in the last 2 years. I mean, I'm getting mad. I'm getting angry. Okay, I'm a frustrated Dolphin fan. I like the direction the team's going in, but we're doing it with Nick Needham. We're doing it with 3rd-round draft pick who can't find his way at his normal position, Michael Dieter, who's now the center. Okay, we're doing it with Jesse Davis. We're doing it with nobodies. None of these 1st or 2nd rounders, except for Raekwon Davis and Tua Tagovailoa. 2 Bama guys. So what are you going to do? Just draft Bama guys?
I guess.
That seems to be the smart play.
I mean, that's probably why half of them go to the NFL.
Right.
Yeah.
So draft more Bama guys.
Yeah.
What can I tell you? Draft more Bama guys, draft more Clemson guys. Okay, well, I don't care. I don't care if it's a reach. Grab him. I don't care if it's a reach in the 2nd round. Get that guy.
At least they're well coached.
Yeah, exactly.
Well coached, and they're probably
They're already professionals.
Yeah. Now you're hoping they're not the
Look at Pat Surtain. Look at Pat Surtain the second. Look at Junior.
Yeah.
Okay, what happened yesterday?
There's a lot of examples.
Pick six.
Yeah, a lot of examples. Out there.
Pick six. He had a pick six that looked so simple and so easy. It was ridiculous. It was like, oh, this is supposed to be hard? Okay, draft more Bama guys then. But Chris Greer and your scouting department, if these guys don't start hitting, somebody's going to get fired. And eventually, it's going to be Chris Greer. It'll work its way up to Chris Greer.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, eventually it will. Okay, because one thing that we've found out is that the owner is he's results driven. He really is. He likes to give people time. He likes to work through things. But Stephen Ross is results driven. Real estate guy, of course. He's results driven. So keep screwing around, Chris Greer. Keep missing. Keep overdrafting these guys.
Yeah, that's not going to work out well for him.
Listen, I have faith that Igbenogany will develop into a credible cornerback in the NFL. I think he will be a decent cornerback. Will he be a starter? Will he be an all-pro? Will he be a Pro Bowl player? Doubt it, but a role player for a long time and probably get another contract. But not for the 31st pick in the draft. No, 31st overall, you got to get a guy that you know is going to play.
Yeah, that one's got to hit for you.
Play. Your top 50 players, like in fantasy football, your top 50 players, they have to play. They have to play. They have to play. They have to work. They have to affect the game for you. Period. Okay, there's no room for speculation. Period. Now let's get on to fantasy football before I really get mad.
One thing first. I need your honesty on this. Diana just texted me, says I look mean. Do I look mean right now in this
Well, sure,
face?
it's the beard. You're looking manly mean.
All right, well, good.
Good.
I am mean.
Are you using Just for Men in that thing?
I'm not using. I use lavender and coconut oil, whatever my wife has.
Me. My beard. I don't grow my beard out anymore because my beard. I immediately turn into Grizzly Adams Grizzly Adams at 60.
This is the longest I've had it. I think
Gray,
this is the longest I've gone in a while. I don't look at my face that much, honestly, so I don't really pay attention. Well, I know it's there, but I don't really see it. It's been with me forever, so I know what it looks like.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So but once in a while I'll catch a glimpse, or I'll look down and see hair and be like, "Is that mine? Oh yeah, it is mine." So it's kind of weird.
There's a solution to that.
What's that?
Shave.
No, I don't. It's almost like a mission right now. It's almost like something I want to
in
hold
the
on
summertime,
to.
though.
I know it's kind of weird, but that's how I am. I'm very impulsive with certain things.
Listen, last month I grew a lazy beard. Okay, a lazy beard. I didn't feel like shaving, and it got scraggly, and all of a sudden people started. I was walking around with a cup of coffee one time, and somebody threw a quarter in my cup. I'm like,
wow, just a quarter?
Just a quarter.
Oh.
Like, you cheap bastard.
It's not enough. It's not enough. Razors are more expensive than that.
It's like, you look like you've been out on the street for a while, pal.
Yeah.
It's like, so, no, it's, you got to, but your beard is coming in nicely. I'll give you props for that.
I got to be honest, I can't see you now, but there's two spots either side that don't grow for whatever reason. They're like somewhere in here, I think.
Oh, that's fine. That gives the Fu Manchu a little more emphasis,
I guess. So it's just we're all our facial features
you disgust me.
different.
If I could grow a Fu Manchu, I would have a Fu Manchu.
Really?
I would so have the whole thing. I mean, because I got the creases.
Yeah,
which eventually, when I'm about 70, I'm going to Botox them. But I've got the creases, so it'd be great to have hair to cover that. That would be awesome.
Well, when I shave mine, I'll give it to you.
Shut up, you.
Yeah.
All right, on to fantasy football.
Yes.
Kickers. I made sure I got your face on camera for it too. So there's been some controversy. We are both members of two leagues. One being the Screwy Louie Football League, which is entering its 31st season. And we draft kickers. We draft flex, tight ends. We draft, but we draft kickers.
Yeah, you do.
We do. It's a modest league.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a modest buy-in. It's a 10-team league.
Before bathrooms, people used to shit in the backyard too. But we evolve through life, and the advantages of the evolving
Before bathrooms
is growth and nourishment and all these other things. And I don't mean to cut you, but you're done. We're still drafting kickers. Okay, why?
I gotta take a shit in the backyard.
Why are we drafting kickers? Can you tell me anybody besides an idiot that takes a kicker besides their last pick? Anybody? Although we'll have those. We'll have the guy in the 10th round probably still take Adam Vinatieri. Okay.
Adam Vinatieri.
Why? Okay, because he played for the Patriots at one time. So
Kyle Vanderjagt.
it's like, what are we doing here? Really?
Listen, when this went down, this is our other league being the Diamond Dolls League, which is a very competitive league, and a lot of good players in this league. Really, there are. Just because you and I have happened to win 4 of the last 10 championships,
But none of them like me,
right?
apparently.
And we don't care. It's even better when they don't like you.
I don't care.
Oh, it's even better.
So anyway,
well, wait. Let me finish. I have to tell this story.
Go ahead.
Okay. So when the kicker, and I call it the kicker incident, happened a few days ago, I'm sitting here minding my own business. As a matter of fact, I was studying for my real estate test, which, by the way, I got my license. Anybody wants to buy a house, give me a call.
Congratulations.
And you're up next.
Next, yeah.
But I'm sitting here minding my own business, and my phone starts to blow up. One of those group texts. I hate group texts. Hate them. But I notice I've got the ringer off on that. I'm ignoring it. So I notice, the little blue dot is on there. So they started a group text, and I look at the group text, and the question is, everybody in the league, including the Guru's Guru, who is my representative, my general manager. Kickers, yes or no? Do we want to have a kicker? Yes or no? Dedicated kicker position. There's no tight end in that league. There's no flex in that league.
And there's a kicker.
So the votes come in. Yes. Yes or no? Yes. And then no, and a paragraph explaining why no. Okay. Now there's one guy in this league that almost never responds to these group texts.
He's a bear. He hibernates in the winter.
Right.
Yeah, which is the summer now. Yeah.
Clark.
Yeah.
Clark never responds to these texts. And I'm already laughing after you had put your little diatribe on there. And I'm just dying. I'm dying. And then I calm down and I'm not laughing. And then all of a sudden, Clark, yes, that's it. I thought I was going to have to call 911 and come up here and have somebody hit me with a defib. I thought I was going to die. I had tears streaming down my face because Clark sat there and went, "Oh, Matt voted no. I have to say yes." So
I have a lot of respect for Clark.
You lost 9-1,
and I believe Clark
11-1.
I believe Clark has a lot of respect for me as well.
He's a really good player.
But that being said, kickers.
He's won the championship a couple of times.
Most leagues that have kickers still will take their kickers in the last round. And you see people with their books that they all have the same books because they all go publish
Fantasy
on the way
Football Index.
on the way to the draft. They stop and get their books.
Don't hate on Fantasy Football
I'm not. I'm
Index.
hating on the player that goes and gets his book the day of the draft and thinks he's a draft expert.
Cheat sheet.
And they're like, "Oh wait, I need a kicker." And this is the greatest. What week is my kicker off so I can go get another kicker? I need a kicker for if I hear this in my draft, I need another kicker for week 12. And the guy takes somebody going based on matchup. Oh yeah, they got a good offense all day. Come on, people. Really? The kicker? Can we get into the numbers to support this a little bit? Sure. I go by point differential. Point differential is the number of points that are separated the players by their ranking. So, number 1 kicker in the league, let's say he averages 15 points a week. Number 15 kicker in the league averages 13 points a week. Guess what? Best kicker, worst kicker, it's only a 2-point difference. Now, I'm just throwing those numbers out there arbitrarily, but they're close. There is not a significant difference between the best kickers in the league week to week and the worst kickers in the league week to week. Why are we even wasting a roster spot on somebody that when you go into your draft, you do not prepare for? Nobody spends hours thinking about their kicker. about who they're going to take with their last pick in the draft. And if you do, then maybe you are more into this than I am. But it's ridiculous to have a kicker on your team. It's ridiculous to waste a roster spot. My advice was to just eliminate that spot. Nobody trades in these leagues. Why? Because everybody's afraid to make a trade. They're afraid to get hurt on the trade. So what do? Week after week, we go to the waiver wire, and we go get our players that way. Right. So make the waiver better.
Oh, my God. Listen.
I'm out with this kicker bullshit. It's just ridiculous. It makes no sense. It's like throwing darts at the wall and going, I'm going to take this guy.
Take a shit in the backyard.
Please, it's just
all right. We listen.
So,
we have to. We're coming to. We're almost on a hard deadline because because Daddy wants to go to a baseball
all right,
game.
give me the questions. Just
I want
kickers.
Cuban coffee and Cuban sandwiches for lunch.
F your kickers.
F the kickers. Let's get ready for mass hysteria. All I want to know is, what do you wipe with in the backyard?
I was just going to say
it's
you better bring $1 back
question.
there with you, and don't bring change. It'll get messy.
$1?
Yeah, dollar bill.
You know where money has been.
I'm not picking up any poison ivy back there either.
You have literally picked up hundreds of thousands of singles.
I have actually
in your career.
My luck is I grab a leaf with like a black recluse spider on it or something like that. Bites me in the ass. And that's what you get for shit in the backyard. So,
all right. Stop. You're going to make me laugh again, and then I'm going to have to take a shit in the backyard. Okay. So welcome to Mass Hysteria, where we throw at least, 4 or 5 questions. Some of them are sports-related. Some of them are not so sports-related.
Yeah, today it's all about fantasy football.
Today it's all about fantasy football. I got the gist of that. I've got them right
here.
All right,
I'm ready.
Okay.
Let's rock it.
Fourth wall. Okay, here we go.
Go. Boom.
What is the first round that you draft a quarterback?
I am on team weight when it comes to quarterbacks. It's very hard to, again, when we look at point differential, I like to look at, again, the differences between the guys at the top and the guys that are only maybe a few spots back. They get overlooked.
And if you have to Google point differential, you're already in trouble.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Yeah. In terms of, what this drafting is about is not always taking the guy that scores the most points. It's getting the guy that can give you the most value at that spot in that round. So if you get 1 or 2 guys in your draft that end up leading the league in points, that's going to help you. But if the rest of your picks are subpar and you're not getting guys to fill out the roster that are giving you stats, it's not going to matter what your top guys do. Because guess what? Those top guys aren't going to do it every week. So granted, the weeks that they go off, and they will, you probably win those weeks. But it's normally a 12 or 13 week season. And that's not going to be a recipe for success for the whole season. So it's value at the positions in each round. Don't sacrifice. Don't pick a kicker in the 10th or 11th round. Fill out your rosters. Take some shots, because those guys will be more valuable to your team than just filling positions because you have to fill out the rest of your roster.
But if you're in either of the leagues that we're both in drafting in, by all means, if you want to take a kicker in the first the quarterback in the first or second round, go right ahead.
Yeah, not interested. I'm typically on the train of getting the 5th and 6th best quarterback, because you're getting that guy 7 rounds, 8 rounds later.
All right, easy with the advice. I mean, come on, we want to duplicate that picture that we opened the show with. Okay, we really do. Except we both want to be holding a different trophy, I think.
Yes.
All right, number 2. What is your favorite fantasy football name you've ever used?
I got a couple. This was hard for me. One of my favorite names that I used was Bert and Ernie Secret.
Yeah, I've seen a few of your names.
Yeah, Bert and Ernie Secret. Just real quick, not to really beat down those poor guys on Sesame Street, but
borderline homophobic.
I'm concerned. I'm concerned because Bert looks like the aggressor in that relationship.
Listen, they're both in their 40s. Okay, They're grown men.
Odd couple.
Okay,
is that what we're going with?
So there's nothing wrong with being gay.
But why were they always going to bed at the same time?
They sleep in the same bed.
Yeah. No, they had different beds.
No, they sleep in the same
Bird
bed.
did not share a bed with Ernie. I don't know what Sesame Street you're watching, but they had two separate beds. They were not putting in the 70s. 1970 is when Sesame Street first originated.
Two grown
aired.
men in the same
They
bed.
are not putting two Muppets in the same bed because that
All right,
means
all right,
there's
wait.
two guys under it with hands that are.
All right.
Next.
All right. I'm in a hurry here.
Wow.
All right, yeah. This
Muppets
is
in the same
getting
bed.
Really weird.
Where are you?
What is the worst last minute swap you did to cost you a win that week?
We do this. I do this every year.
All the time.
It's crazy because the last question is like, what's your prep for, and how early do you start this? It doesn't matter because with 2 minutes to go, you're on your phone going, oh my God, the matchup, the quarterback. I have swapped out quarterbacks where I've drafted a guy, and this is what typically happens. You have your team, and these are your guys.
He's going up against a monster defense that
and
week.
you ride these guys, hell or high water, but yet you see, I don't know, whatever out there. Dwayne Haskins is getting the start this week because Ben went down, and he's playing the Browns, who can't cover anybody. I'm just being hypothetical. So you go out and you sit Russell Wilson for Dwayne effing Haskins, and you end up shit in the bed. So go with your guns, go with your instincts. Yeah, in the backyard with no toilet paper. So yeah. So do not overthink your situation. So go with what your instinct is. Go with your horses.
I am your king of that stupid thing. So that's the reason why I have advisors, because they talk me down off of that ledge.
Yes.
And it's helped on more than one occasion. All right, moving on. Number 4. Have you ever reached for players that were on your favorite team? I feel attacked.
Well, I know this is for you.
I feel attacked.
I am a Steeler fan, true and true. I have a room in my house dedicated to them. So I am legit.
seen it.
I'm legit.
He ain't lying.
But in the last several years, I've been able to remove myself emotionally from the team and look at it more in terms of what I think is going to happen. But it's hard.
You did draft Juju Smith-Schuster 2 years ago.
I did, and he did not, and it didn't work out.
He had a great
it
season.
was
that year,
decent.
2 years ago.
Yeah, second half of that season, he was pretty good. So, yeah, I mean, listen, you want your own players to do well on your team, and it's exciting when you've got that guy, Juju, and he scores 2 touchdowns on Sunday. It's a win-win. But more times than not, it ends up not working out for some reason, at least for me. So, and I'm not taking Ben this year, so we're good there. So that's not going to happen. So
There will be no picking Devontae Parker on my part in any way, shape, or form. The only Miami Dolphins I am interested in as far as fantasy football is concerned would be Jalen Waddle, because of his potential really late pick. I mean, like maybe right before the kicker. Kicker.
Your kicker, your wide receiver, by the way, somebody went over on his yardage prop. I think his yardage prop is at 865 yards this year,
Right.
Devontae Parker, and
Sure.
6 touchdowns. And who's the guy on Spanish guy? He was big down here. Now he's on TV.
Geez.
He's got his hair's white now.
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
Estef, something like that. Anyway, he's a guy in the know. They're now on ESPN. A lot of the shows they have all these gambling shows. They're always talking about the props. So this was his thing. He's bullish on Parker. That was his call this year for receivers.
Really, he's bullish on
Parker over and over. So we'll see.
He's broken my heart too many times. I'll
Listen,
take Jalen Waddle really late.
All right, go.
Maybe after the draft, if I want to get a backup quarterback, maybe I'll take, if Tua has a cupcake game on a bye date, because he does have a few cupcake games. And bye date for my starter, maybe I'll put him on my bench. But I'm staying away from the Dolphin defense. I might take the Dolphin defense because they have 2 guys that can return punts and kicks too. So
That's scoring points too.
there you go.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly.
And again, the other side, Steelers, if they're going to win this year, they're going to be dependent on their defense too.
Right.
So yeah.
All right. So let's see. Preview favorite team. Oh, number 5. Oh, hey, we're coming in. We're bringing it in the home stretch. How early do you like to get up on game day? How like to get up out of bed on game day? Sunday.
It's hard to not get. I mean, I work nights. You work nights. So obviously, the nights we work, it's harder to get up. But like for this show this morning, I'm on 3.5 hours sleep. So
Yeah, well.
if I have to get up, typically I like to watch a lot of the stuff in the mornings. We typically do our show on Sunday morning, so
Yep.
I'm up anyway early. But on the few days that we don't, for whatever reason, I think a 3-hour window for me is good. Get up, have my coffee, get my paperwork, my phone, my computer, and you start watching because you're looking for certain things. The injury reports are out, but that last-minute scratch that may not be there. Schefter's got 19 phones in front of him. He's always throwing a last-minute report at 10 minutes to 1. So that's where I'm at. Usually about 3 hours is good
but
for
you
me.
got you're multi-tiered though. You're doing daily. You're doing wagering.
Exactly.
You're doing 2 fantasy football leagues.
Yeah.
you know,
And with
you're
football, fortunately, it's only once a week, but you are looking at everything every day, all week long.
Right.
So, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, we're being snuck up behind.
Wow, we have people in the house.
You can't hide at
She's
us.
a
I know-
star.
I know
She's
you're
a
back
star.
there. I know you're back there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd like to get up early too.
Yeah.
Like if I wake up at, I'm normally a night owl. If I wake up at we're being photobombed. If I wake up at 9 o'clock, I'm mad.
Yeah.
If I get up at 9 o'clock, no matter how late I stay up on Saturday night, I get up, I'm mad. I'm like, daylight's burning. So I grab the phone and immediately, DraftKings, let's go. Let's start
Yeah.
putting in lineups.
Yeah.
So,
3 hours is good for me.
Got to get up early.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we have been invaded by the baseball bunch.
Yeah, you guys
They're-
enjoy
they're
your
full
day.
of coffee and pancakes.
Have a great day, guys.
And we're going to say our bye-byes. I don't believe we are doing a show next week.
Okay.
Because I am heading to Tampa. The Marlins are going to crush the Cubs today. They're going to sweep the Cubs. They're going to go for the sweep. I'm going to bring a friggin' broom.
There were 3 guys that I had not heard of on Friday night
Yeah.
that went ballistic for the Marlins. They put up a 12 spot.
Well,
that
there's a
night.
lot of guys you've never heard of that are coming up for the Marlins.
But like some guy, I don't know. Who it was,
Dela
but-
Cruz.
Yeah, hit 2 homers or something.
Exactly.
I think.
Yeah, well, he's been.
Hey, look, Trevor Lawrence. Tim Tebow. Trevor Lawrence. Wait, go ahead. Sorry.
You're confused.
Yeah.
All right. So, I don't think we're going to go. Well, I'm going up to Tampa. We're going to have a few meetings, do some stuff. For the upcoming real estate ventures. The things. The thing with a place and the guy.
Yes.
So, we'll meet back here in 2 weeks.
Say hi to Bumpus.
Oh, wait. No, you're going to be gone because you're going to be in Antigua. So we'll see you back here in 3 weeks to preview our Las Vegas trip, which is coming, and hopefully Las Vegas doesn't get torn asunder by COVID.
I don't even know where I'm staying for Las Vegas. I got to be honest.
Look at the disgusted look on your face.
I got one night, and that's it. The other 3 nights, I'll be on the strip, homeless.
It's a pretty good place to be.
Actually, it's not too bad.
All right. Well, on behalf of myself and the disgusted Matt, he's eyeing the backyard right now as we speak. Say goodbye to the nice people.
See you later.
And you can check him out on at MLB Joy Us, or you can search Gonzo Radio on any platform. Pick a platform, any platform. I'm Big Daddy Gonzo. That's the Maz. We'll see you guys in about 3 weeks.
Yes.
With the Las Vegas preview and the NFL regular season preview.
Yes.
Here on the Gonzo Radio Network. Bye.